What's up guys, Kevin Cage here with another crypto update. In today's video, we're going to be discussing the Casper blockchain and its native token CSPR. So once again, this is not financial advice. I'm not paid by anybody or Casper to talk about Casper. I wish I was. I just hold some, and I do believe that Casper is a very legitimate layer 1 blockchain that could see some big things in the future. And in today's video, I'll dive into a few reasons why. So I hope this helps you as you continue doing your own research. Be sure to fact check everything shared in this video and always do your own research. I'm going to try to keep this video relatively high level. I do have a Casper playlist on my channel and I've been discussing it since 2021. And unfortunately, we are in a bear market. That is why I'm focused on looking at projects that are building, developing their code base. And you are seeing that the projects that are building despite current price are going to be the ones that survive and thrive in the future, especially Casper, since they do have millions of dollars in funding and roughly 80 full-time employees, whereas there's other networks that maybe have 5 to 10 employees. So we'll talk about some of their backing. Now, high level, when I'm looking at projects, it's not simple to do a deep dive. It can take tens of hours to fully grasp the whole picture of a project. So when it comes to choosing assets that I invest in, I try to combine the fundamentals, fundamental analysis in tandem with technical analysis. So fundamentals could include their financials, their current partners. Do they have an active GitHub where they're contributing to their code base that is open source? Are their developers hard at work? Who are their competitors? What is their project funding? Per their current market cap and in their specific market, is there a lot of growth potential? What about their tokenomics or token economics, comparing their total versus their circulating supply, understanding their token distribution schedule, and if they have a growth rate? Are there any burn mechanisms or anything that can basically add demand to the token? What exchanges are they available on today? What's their current volume, their liquidity, and what pairs are they trading with? Let's look at their team and their investors. Even on Crunchbase, you can see who's backing them. We can see their roadmap and basically their schedule and plans for updates to the network. What about their existing ecosystem? Do they have a variety of wallets or DEXs since it is a layer 1? Do they have an NFT marketplace? Are they developing and building dApps or decentralized applications? What about their community online, which is incredibly important as well? Do they have good social engagement? I think so, especially for a project that has been born in a bear market. When I first got into Constellation or DAG, the crypto DAG, it had a really strong community. It was relatively small, but everybody was really cool. They were smart, they were well versed. And then toward the very beginning of 2021, we can see January 2021, it finally exploded. This is a bull run. DAG did over a 7,000% pump, well over a 70x return. But before that, it's years of consolidation. And there's additional price history, and DAG was actually way lower back in the day. But this is an example of consolidation then finally taking off. You can see examples like Phantom or FTM was in development for years. 2018 going sideways for a couple years, up, down, crash, creating a new all-time low price. When will it end? Phantom started showing strength, and no, I'm not promoting Phantom, I'm using the chart as an example, and we can see after about 2 years, it then exploded. And even from the all-time low price, this was, crazy. This did over a 1000x return. And I'm not talking about a 1000x return. I'm using this as an example. When an asset finally establishes its all-time low price, it's incredibly probable, provided they're building and they continue to grow the network, that it will do a 10x, a 50x, or even a 100x from the low. One of the most conservative examples we can use is Algorand with a very similar supply. We can see that this still did over a 20x. If you check other exchanges, you could argue a 25x. HBAR in this example still did over a 50x from its all-time low price. On other exchanges, you could measure actually over a 60x return. And then there's others like Solana where they actually lie about their supply. It's a VC token, pump and dump, and does a 500x. And overall, I definitely don't think it's impossible to see a 10x, a 50x, or a 100x in the years ahead. Keyword being years. And the cool thing was seeing DAG do really well during a bull market. We've never seen what Casper can do during a bull market. DAG had a pretty strong community, but now it's a lot bigger. Maybe it's falling off now because of the bear market, but during the bull run, there was an amazing community. And I already see a very cool and very intelligent community behind Casper. Some of these guys have been here since the beginning, and they're sharing amazing information. So could you imagine a community that already has decent social engagement, how well they would do during a bull run? Now, you can find a great project with strong fundamentals, but it does not mean that you found a good entry. Finding a good crypto or project is one thing. Finding a good entry is a whole nother beast. Now, if you find a great project and it survives the years ahead, that's awesome. But if you bought it at the top after it just did another 5x return and then it crashes 50%, that doesn't really help you, no matter how good the project. So I'm personally DCAing into Casper, and also not financial advice. If Bitcoin keeps crashing, we're going to go lower. And I'm personally choosing to continue dollar cost averaging, and that is just my personal choice. I'm only investing money that I can set and forget for the years ahead. I'm not emotionally attached to it. I don't need it to pay any bills in the short term. Now, looking at the technicals, the TA, the technical analysis, you want to look at an asset's historical market performance. This could include, is the asset in distribution when it's in a huge selling phase, or is it in accumulation, where I think we are in the bear market, where we're trying to find if we already bottomed yet. What is its all-time high price? What is its all-time low price? How high is it from its all-time low? Did it just do a 500x over the past 2 years? Might be better off finding a younger asset that is yet to do that type of huge parabolic move going into expansion. And if you want me to better explain this, please just watch the video I uploaded right before this. It's a long video, but if you throw it on 2x speed, it'll give you a much better idea. So if I see an asset that explodes, I think I'm better off trying to find maybe a younger asset that is yet to do that huge expansion-like move instead of chasing something that already did it, because more likely than not, it'll come back down. We also have to understand the trend on the macro time frame, on the monthly and the weekly. You can look at different patterns for TA as well, or use other tools like the Fibonacci. I like to use the RSI, the Relative Strength Index, to look at an asset's momentum on a variety of time frames. And if an asset has been consolidating for months, really tightening up in a very small zone, chances are that it's preparing for a big move. As they say, the longer the base, the higher in space. And of course, that's easier said than done during a bull run. So remember that the best investors position themselves in an asset before the majority even know what it is. They buy and accumulate when it's boring, before the price action, also known as PA, comes. And there are plenty of amazing people on crypto Twitter, like Rekt Vojak right here, sharing amazing research. There's so many to name, so I don't want to, name anybody specifically, because then I'll leave somebody out. But I would just go on Twitter and search the Casper hashtag right here, right there. You just use the money sign to look for a specific currency or crypto, and you should be able to find people that are talking about Casper. You can also use that to gauge social engagement. So Rekt had an awesome interview here with Cliff Sarkin of Casper a while back, and just looking at a variety of use cases that Casper is already building with their enterprise customer pipeline, putting patents and intellectual property on Casper's blockchain. We heard Neve of Casper saying they're going to be launching a couple million patents on Casper's blockchain. That is utility. So we did videos on all of this before. This is a picture I saw in a Casper presentation. So we just went over a few use cases. If you want to pause it right here, and these are huge. These are not small use cases. Casper, the token, is going to be a utility token. We're going to talk about the inflation rate that is at 8% per year. And in the future, if validators feel that it would be better for the network to remove that, they can. But that would be up to a vote. And Casper's not in charge of that. It's all up to the governance, which is cool and makes it decentralized. You have global telecom payment processors. You have a major US insurance company, the largest auto company in Switzerland, leasing contracts on top of Casper. Building smart cities with blockchain service network on Hyperledger, side by side some of the biggest crypto projects in the game. Basically everything you can imagine they are working on as a layer 1 for enterprises to be a future-proof blockchain. They're going to be migrating so that accounts and smart contracts are the same. It is the first and only blockchain today that can upgrade its smart contracts and upgrade its NFTs. This is game-changing. And enterprises understand. Here's a Casper playlist I made. Here's a staking tutorial. And once again, if you are asking, how to buy this asset, you should not buy it. You should be doing research, probably tens of hours of research. And if you're asking where to store the asset, you should be doing that research before you ever buy it. So I go over that in Casper How to Stake. So for anybody asking how to stake and where to store your Casper, type in on YouTube, How to Stake Casper, Kevin Cage, and you'll see this video. And there's a variety of great resources on Casper.network, their website. They have blogs going over everything. So we did a video on this last time just to speed through it, going over partners, their background, Casper's entire story, its benefits compared to other networks. Flexible deployment, their ecosystem today of DeFi, wallets, exchanges, validators, and additional tools. Their DeFi ecosystem, the bridges they're building and DEXs that are being built, all types of information. So I would recommend going through all of this to better understand its benefits and where it could be stronger than other networks. And I still hold other layer 1s out there. I'm not married to any investment, but I'm definitely more interested in an alt that is building, going to be at Davos, is yet to be listed on tier 1 exchanges, and is still near its all-time low price and is yet to go parabolic yet. So I just want to try to position myself as long as possible and keep DCAing so I'm ready for that ride. So you can see a comparison between Hyperledger Fabric, Corda, Hedera, Algo, Ethereum, Tezos, and Solana. This is a hybrid, upgradable smart contracts and NFTs. Extremely flexible and does not just allow a single programming language. This is going to lower the barrier to entry so that millions of developers can come to Casper. When they come to ETH or some other network, they have to learn a new programming language. That is a barrier to entry. This has its own virtual machine, not relying on Ethereum, and essentially, as I've said, I think Casper's technology today that was built off the original CBC specification paper, and some of these guys were behind Ethereum, by the way, its technology is 5 years ahead of Ethereum. So what I think is that Ethereum can still survive, it can still do well, it has so much adoption on it already. But it's not efficient, it is sluggish, it is slow. Hence why developers and builders are looking at other layer ones. And now that we had this giant market crash, I think this is a huge opportunity for Casper to actually shine in 2023. The people behind this project are absolute geniuses. They have an amazing network. We're talking decades of experience in IT. They know what enterprises want. They are in active discussion with huge groups as they've shared 45 NDAs, including Fortune 500 companies. Now, luckily, if the Fortune 500 company agrees that they're okay with sharing that news, and then Casper agrees they're okay with sharing that news, then they can come out publicly and share. But you have to understand that if there is some giant company or an insurance company or telecom giant building solutions on Casper, they may not want their competitor to know that they chose Casper. They want to launch and be ahead of them. You can learn more about the mainnet, the stats, etc. So right on Casper.network, you can go to the ecosystem, the case studies, you can go to documentation, so anybody asking questions for help, start here. And you can find their actual socials right here. So we are on CSPR.live. This is a block explorer for Casper. As we can see, the APY for staking, APY means it's compounded, which is great. And we can see the circulating supply at 10.498 billion. 93% of the total supply is in circulation. That is a good thing. So when exchanges like Binance see that, they say, oh great, the majority is in circulation. We are a lot more likely to list this project. You can see that Gemini actually wrote a blog on Casper last year, and I've been waiting for them to list Casper ever since, but they just haven't just yet. Remember that Coinbase, it's extremely easy for Coinbase to list an ERC20 token that is on Ethereum. It's effortless, but to add a unique layer 1 chain, it does take a while, as we know that Coinbase said they're going to list Hedera back in 2020, and they finally did this year and listed it wrong the first time because they didn't actually understand the account ID for its wallet address. So HBAR actually got listed on Coinbase twice. So Casper Network, a dev-friendly enterprise blockchain, and just think future-proof. I like Casper because it's versatile. It can adapt quickly to the changes of enterprises. In my opinion, the technology is far ahead of other projects that are already set in their ways and stuck, and it's harder for them to change. The cool thing about 2023 in the roadmap is that Casper 2.0, the upgrade, is coming. This includes the Zug protocol. Remember, they're based in Switzerland. And this is the Casper CBC. If you guys are familiar with Ethereum, this is what the Ethereum network is expected to adopt once it transitions to its eventual 3.0 model. As a result, the team behind the Casper network sometimes refers to this as the final evolution of Ethereum. Now, this is no joke, and I know for years we've heard this is Ethereum 3.0. Well, that's a joke, and this is actually a potential outcome because they're actually using the real CBC specification. So even if Ethereum explodes, I do see a world where Casper actually gets a portion of its market cap and helps process transactions for enterprises. That is significantly cheaper with upgradable contracts, by the way. Contracts can pay for themselves. What? And there are predictable gas fees. So you can learn more about this, guys. There's tons of info and I'm super excited. There's weighted keys. It's a hybrid network for permissionless and permissioned. You can delegate tiered access to different people in the company. And then going over the token itself, which is the native token used to reward validators for processing on-chain transactions via the proof-of-stake consensus mechanism. Behind CasperLabs, we can see top enterprises such as Microsoft, Google, and Adobe. The project has been in the works in some form or fashion since 2015, and they have everything you'd want to see for a Layer 1 project, and they're in Switzerland. They don't care about regulatory clarity because they're basically good to go. From NFTs to gaming projects to DeFi infrastructure and KYC solutions. Remember that Casper presented side by side at Davos the leaders of the world at 2022 with IBM, right on IBM's website. This is the only crypto that IBM has actually written a dedicated article about, highlighting their partnership and presenting it at Davos in front of over 100 billionaires and plenty of Fortune 500 CEOs. You can see right here, the VP of Blockchain Services at IBM, excited to continue our partnership with CasperLabs. You can learn more at casperstats.io. You can read about the validators. You can see the rich list right here. So if you want to check that out, highly recommend it. And another resource I want to point you towards is just type in docs Casper right here, and you can pull up this. This will have all tutorials and everything you need to know to better understand Casper. What is Casper? Where can I learn more? Node operating, design, the economics, a staking guide, a glossary, everything you need. So you can click staking up here and it'll show you exactly what to do and give you the facts. There is no slashing. So I really like that, and I feel a lot safer staking my Casper because there's no slashing risk. Casper is putting security above everything. I'm sure some people have used some very sketchy DeFi protocols that were hacked because they were not secure, or they're staking, then a validator misbehaved and the rewards in their wallet was slashed and they lost some of their holdings. That's not even a concern for me when I'm staking Casper, and of course you can use it with your Ledger Nano. I just wanted to do another high-level video, and we're going to finish up with this point. And in the future, we're going to talk about specific Casper partnerships. We can see on CSPR.live, the total supply right here, 11.2 billion. We're going to copy that. A lot of people are concerned about an 8% inflation rate. We've heard from the Casper CEO Renal right here. I expect 5 to 8 years from now, the public chain will be almost at capacity, meaning that the network will be full in 5 to 8 years. So considering that and knowing where we are today, let's think about this. So Casper's supply, the total, is just over 11 billion. Algo has a very similar supply. It did over a 20 or 25x. HBAR's total supply is 50 billion. I guess we should consider the circulating supply as well. XRP's total supply is 100 billion. Did that stop some of those projects from pumping? Open up our calculator and paste it in there. So for the Casper supply to double from 11.2 billion, what would it get to? That'd be 22.5 billion tokens. Now, how many years would it take for the supply to double? So we'll put in the supply and multiply it by the inflation rate of 1.08 or 8%. And let's count. Here we go. 1, year 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, up to 22.5 billion. That means it will take 9 years from today's day for the supply to even double. So my personal belief is with an asset that is sitting at these prices today, with building tier 1 exchanges, DeFi, DEXs, and bridges being built, integrated with BitGo, one of the world's largest custodians for crypto already, variety of new use cases, and a huge number of layer 1s even from their all-time low during a bull run, still doing a 10x, a 50x, or a 100x from the all-time low. Of course, Phantom is an outlier because it did a 1000x, but you get what I'm saying. So it would take 9 years for the Casper supply to even double from today's, and of course, in about 5 to 8 years for Casper to be at full capacity. I think the next bull run, even the next Bitcoin halving in 2024, is going to come way before those dates. We've seen assets with no utility do speculative price pumps and still do a 50x. Hard to compare projects because we're in a bear market. We don't know what the bull run will bring in the future. So if you're comparing market cap to Doge or Solana today, understand that these alts are down massively from their all-time high price. So if we know the total market cap of crypto hit 3 trillion, do you think in the next few years we can climb up, surpass that, go to 6 to 8 trillion dollars? I personally believe that the crypto market is going to grow this coming decade, and especially with the Bitcoin halving and a variety of different catalysts and new use cases. So what would the market of Casper be if it became a top 30, a top 20, a top 10 project during a bull run? Because even during last bull run, a project in the top 10 or top 20 had a $50 billion market cap. So if we took 50 billion as a market capitalization, which projects in the past in the top 10 and top 20 have reached during a bull run, and divided it by this right here, its current market cap, that would equate to over a 141x return. If we multiplied that by current price, let's just say 3 cents, that would be $4.23. But of course, we have to consider the inflation rate and other things like that. That almost reminded me of a 4.236, like the Fibonacci. But overall, and not financial advice, I believe that Casper has the potential to do very well in the future. Just remember that Cardano, when it launched, it skyrocketed from, keep in mind, from 2 cents all the way up to $1.32. Then boom, 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 never-ending crash, retracement. Then March 2020. So crashed 98%, came all the way down to under 2 cents, 1.8 cents. And then from 1.8 cents, it actually went over $3, over a 150x return. So everything I'm sharing, I'm trying to show you actual examples. I don't know the exact future, but I can tell you I'm very impressed with Casper Network, and I definitely wouldn't rule it out. In watching the Casper price chart, we can just focus on the weekly time frame. We can look at key levels. We know 3 cents even is a very key level. We can go up to this next level right there, 5 cents, where we tapped, but we had yet to actually reach that level, came all the way down, back to 3 cents. And we can go from there to the next double bottom, that's 7 cents. We can come up here and see that 15, 16 cent level at the 1618 all the way across on the weekly and the weekly there. And right there a wick. Then we can talk about that 24 cent level right there close to the double top. We can talk about the 40 cent level. And then we can look at the Casper Bitcoin price chart on the weekly and see key levels as well, mapping that up. If Casper were to simply climb from here and actually come up to other order blocks, as you can see on the weekly time frame, that is a 300% increase, which would be a 4x return for Casper to come up to this weekly level. And on the monthly, we can see that gap is right on the candle body. Very interesting. So I know markets suck right now, and if you guys want to take a break away from crypto, I don't blame you one bit. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to hit the like button and let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, I'd greatly appreciate hitting the like button and subscribing. Let me know your thoughts down below. And as always, my link tree is linked right in the top of this YouTube video description with all links, crypto resources, and discounts. I'll catch you in the next one.